got to do everything you can to protect yourself, to protect your business, right?
Same conversation with everybody and say, man, you know what? I don't want to give up that 10 or 15%. I just don't want to do it. I'd rather book it on my own or do this on my own.
Tell me, hey, you're going to do great at this location, right? But what if I don't? Right? Am I still paying you a fee?
Yeah. What's my safety?
Right. Am I paying you a fee on $500 in sales? Am I paying you a fee on $300 in sales? Right? So why do you choose to work with these companies that are stealing work from us?
Build off of that. Like I said, it's all an end game. It's all an end game. You have to continue to look to the future.
How many trucks are just a few shifts away from going out of business? A lot, especially in today's climate. Right? So, and I think that's what people fail to realize, and organizers and people who are looking for food trucks fail to. That's one of the benefits too of working with organizers is your truck gets exposure that it wouldn't normally get. And I know that a lot of trucks are against working with organizers, right? And thankfully, I've modeled all about food trucks, and my partner Ryan have modeled all about food trucks in a different way because I was a food trucker before I was an organizer. And we try to be as fair and as transparent as possible. We look out for trucks, right? The trucks that we work with, which we get to choose. We don't work with every truck, and I think that gives us a competitive advantage too. And it gets us some hate. Especially in our market.
There's always a good and a bad.
Yeah, there's always positives and negatives, but we hand select the trucks that we work with, and we're able to present those trucks to clients that wouldn't normally book a food truck. And let me tell you why. Because a lot of food truck owners will say, well, if bookers didn't exist, then clients would just book with us directly, and that's not always true. Especially when you're talking about corporate clients. And there's one reason for that, one main reason, and it's liability, right? So as a food trucker, you carry insurance, right? But at the end of the day, our insurance policies are $1 million, $2 million, right? If something catastrophic were to happen, which it doesn't happen all the time, it's probably not frequent, it's more of a rarity, but it still happens. There's food truck accidents out there all the time. And if something were to happen, your $1 million or your $2 million doesn't go very far, especially in today's day and age. So organizers or corporations, now there's a middleman, and that middleman carries the liability. So that middleman, if something were to happen, you've got your insurance as a food truck owner, but we've got an additional umbrella policy, and there's someone that those victims are able to sue that's not the corporation. So, and that's why corporations are more likely to work with a booker or an organizer than they are an individual food truck because of the liability piece. Not to mention, food truckers are incredibly hard to get a hold of. I know that I don't answer my food truck phone a lot of the times. I'll answer my organizer phone before I answer my food truck phone because, the organizer phone is more important to me. But as a food truck owner, I mean, how many things are more important to you than answering the phone? There's a lot of things that come on that list, especially during a shift or during preparation for a shift. Like the last thing you're worried about is, who's calling. Right. So on the other end of that line, you've got clients that are trying to book food for an event. And sometimes those events are very last minute. We get client calls all the time on a Tuesday looking for a food truck for Friday. And they're scrambling, calling all these different trucks, and no one's answering the phone, at least not in a timely manner. And the trucks that are already booked, or their minimums are not consistent with what the industry minimums are, or they just can't handle the volume. There's a lot of different reasons, but there's pros and cons to working with organizers. And at the end of the day, as an individual food truck owner, you get to choose whether you want to or not. But I, in the times where I was not an organizer and I was just a food truck owner, I had a very, very beneficial relationship with one of the area's largest organizers. And it was mutually beneficial, right? So I got work from them. I was, probably one of their favored trucks. But they got a benefit. Their benefit was that they knew that they can count on me to serve a consistent product. My truck was clean. We were professionals. We showed up and made their job easy and made them look good, right, to the client. So, and that's why we choose which food trucks to work with and which food trucks not to work with.
And there's a lot of food truckers that have the same conversation with everybody and say, man, you know what? I don't want to give up that 10 or 15%. I just don't want to do it. I'd rather book it on my own or do this on my own. And something that me personally, I took that into account as within my budget, because I'd rather pay the 10% or the 15% booking fee, whatever, or however you want to categorize it.
Yeah, I think 10% is the industry standard.
10% is the industry standard.
But think about it from more than just a booking fee. They're marketing. You guys are doing the marketing.
Yeah,
you guys
absolutely.
are doing the setting up,
the paperwork.
You guys are doing okay. I have to send you my COI.
Yeah, I'm paying 10% for somebody to find me my work,
and I'm okay with that.
Absolutely.
Not every truck is, though. And there are a lot of trucks that are successful. But there are plenty of trucks that are successful, even in our market, that are successful, and they don't work with any organizers. You've got to have almost a dedicated person to find that work for you, or you're not answering your phone. It's you can't do it all. Why do you work with All About Food Trucks? Or why do you choose to work with these companies that are stealing work from us?
For me personally, it's a little bit different, I think, because for me personally, my response is always going to be, one, they find my work. Two, it's good, proven work, because if you're a good organizer, you're not going to hold on to things that are not producing, right? So you're not going to continue to book trucks or schedule trucks at a community that's only doing $250. So at least I know going in that the quality of work that I'm going to get from this organizer is going to be
worth the 10%.
Yeah, it's going to be worth my 10%.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, and the relationship that you build off of that, like I said, it's all an end game. Yeah. It's all an end game. You have to continue to look to the future, because if you're working with one of the biggest organizers in your area, right? Or if you're working with two, because in our market there's two, right? There's technically three if you go to the one over the bridge, but there's two in our direct market that we work with.
They provide quality work.
If you continue to work with those two, like, they're filling 30 to 40% of your schedule for
Each.
For one thing, right? So that's 30 to 40% of your work you already know is guaranteed for the month. Right. So now you only got to go find the other half of that, depending on how much more you want to work. Do you only want to work 80? So now you only got to go find 40% more of your
Well, and it depends if you're a top truck, too.
And if you're
a top 10 truck,
if you're a top 10 truck,
the organizers can fill your schedule.
Yeah, you're getting more than that. And then on top of that, though, if you're a top 10 truck, or you're a sought after truck, now you're getting put in front of bigger clients, like you're getting put in front of the HCAs, or you're getting put in front of the TGHs,
or the NFL,
or the NFLs,
MLB,
or the rowdy soccer, or like you said with the NFL, you're getting put out there at the Bucs training camp.
And it's not even about being put in front of those clients or in front of the clients of these organizers, but it's all of the attendees that are there too, because many times
it's all about relationships,
right? Many times, like I've worked caterings for these organizers, and I've gotten 2 or 3 caterings from some of those jobs.
Absolutely.
Where I was booked directly, not by their client, but by attendees that have come to that event. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So,
this business is all about networking and making connections.
And putting your product in front of as many people
as possible,
as you can. So
and that's one of the things too that I think a lot of food truck owners fail to realize or don't take into account. That just because you got a crappy catering, right, or a small catering. I'm gonna say crappy, but say a small catering.
Well, no caterings are crappy.
Of course, because it's guaranteed money. It's guaranteed money. But you get a catering for say 50 people or 30 people,
right?
But
and it's $800 or whatever the case may be.
But what if that 30 to 50 person catering is for the Bucks,
right?
Or what if that 30 to 50 catering is for say Tico,
right?
It's all about building that network and continuing to grow your brand. And like you said, it's getting your food and your face and your brand in front of as many people as possible.
When you're doing business in an environment that is not transparent, or you can't see all of the data or all of the stipulations or everything that encompasses making a business decision, I probably wouldn't feel comfortable making a decision, right? Whether that's booking a location or, deciding whether or not to work with an organizer, or any decision, working with a vendor, buying something from a vendor, from a supplier. Like if that person or that second party is not comfortable being completely transparent, something's wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? And you probably shouldn't do business with that person, whether it's an organization or a vendor or a location or a contact. If the data's not in front of you and you don't have access to all of the data before you make a business decision, that might be the decision that determines whether your business goes forward or not. Because how many trucks are just a few shifts away from going out of business?
A
lot, especially in today's climate, right? So, and I think that's what people fail to realize, and organizers and people who are looking for food trucks fail to realize that you're playing with someone's livelihood. When you call an individual food truck and you're saying, hey, I want you to come out to my event and I want you to do $3,000 in sales, that $3,000 for that food trucker, if they show up and they pack that much and it doesn't go well, that might be the difference on whether they continue to operate or go out of business.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a solid statement.
Absolutely. So that's why, as a food truck owner, you've got to do everything you can to protect yourself, to protect your business, right? Establishing minimums, working with organizers that have a reputation and they're willing to stand behind a location that they're sending you to, right? Because it's not just enough to tell me, hey, you're going to do great at this location, right? But what if I don't? Right? Am I still paying you a fee?
Yeah. What's my safety?
Right. Am I paying you a fee on $500 in sales? Am I paying you a fee on $300 in sales? Right? What do you have into it? Right? And if you're not comfortable asking those questions, or if the organizer is not comfortable answering those questions, then you shouldn't work together.